A copy of music in the possession of its legal owners is called the master for that piece of music. And they are in the news recently because of Taylor Swift. Masters are assets. A simplistic view could be that it does not require a whole lot of money to make music, in the same way that it does not require a whole lot of money to write the script for this video. Who owns this video and the script? Is it me, the creator, or is it YouTube? Our case is simple, because almost no money was spent on making this video, and it is not expected to generate a whole lot of revenue. When it comes to expense, I mean sure, we can talk about the depreciation of the laptop, and the chair, and the desk, and the cost of the internet connection, and some salary for myself. Even the softwares were free to use. But it did require some time and cognitive effort. In its purest form, music, one can argue, is quite similar. The words, and the tunes can be thought up by one person, without spending a lot of money. And in this day and age, with all the softwares and tools available, they may even be able to make a meaningful recording, without breaking the bank. But as is the case with YouTube videos, or any kind of audio-visual content, spending money helps improve things. Like, you can improve the production quality, and make the video look and sound better. You can even spend money to ensure that more people get to watch it. One would think that it is the same with music as well. You can spend money to make the music sound better, and you can spend money to ensure that more people get to hear it. And as you would expect, because money is being spent, things can get hairy in many ways. For example, if you, the creator, is not spending that money, then why is the other person spending the money? Answers to this fundamental question define almost everything. Ownership is tied to risk. Which means that the person who took the most risk, when building and maintaining the asset, should get to pocket most of its future earnings. For example, if I build a house, without borrowing anything from a bank, or from an investor, then I am the owner of the house. I can earn rent from it, or I can sell it and keep the money. Another example could be the startups, who frequently receive funds from investors. This money is critical for them to do business. However, startups are risky, and fail frequently, and investors lose their money. To compensate the investors for taking a risk, they receive stock in the company, which is a promise that they get to own future profits from the business. Since the investors took the risk of funding the startup, they get to be its owners. One can say similar things about music. Music labels take the risk. They spend money to ensure that the songs are well made, and they spend money to create awareness about the song and the artist. In some cases, they also compensate the artists up front. In most cases, the money needs to be spent up front, before the songs are purchased by listeners. Whether many listeners will spend money to purchase the song, or only a few, depends on myriad factors, and may be hard to predict or control. Not knowing the final outcome makes the upfront spending of money risky. To compensate for this risk, the music label often gets to own the masters. They, not the artist, become the legal owners of the song. If the artist is popular, many listeners will be aware of them, and their work. And there is a good chance that people may pay to listen to their songs. In such cases, the music label's risk is lower, and they may share future earnings from the songs with the artist. A common way to do that is by giving the master's ownership to the artist. It is not a stretch to assume that artists may prefer to own the masters of their songs. After all, the songs won't exist but for their creativity and their efforts. This is not unlike the fact that founders at a successful startup, like Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook, own a substantial portion of the voting shares. While investors have funded the business when it needed money, Mark has played a very important role in the company's success. So it feels like a fair outcome. Which brings us to the ongoing efforts from Taylor Swift to gain control over the masters of her first 6 albums. The first thing that stands out is that they are worth a lot of money. Usually, you don't get to hear about these numbers, and how eye-wateringly large they are, unless you are part of a select group in the industry. Even then they may be estimates, for the most part. Recently Shamrock, a fund, paid $300 million to buy those masters. As I said, that is a lot of money. The key takeaway here is the scarcity of high-quality assets. That is, while it may be inexpensive to make songs, it is incredibly hard to sell them. So the songs which do sell, their masters are extremely valuable. I mean, I can make songs. I have a computer, and one can argue that that is all that is needed, if you know what you are doing. But will anyone pay money to listen to that song? I doubt it. Even I may not want to listen to them. And look at the videos on this channel. It tells you that, 1, it is not hard to make videos, because there are quite a few of them here. And 2, it is very hard to get people to watch these videos. Which is to say that getting an audience is a hard problem to solve. And Taylor Swift has managed to solve it really well, much better than most others out there. It is no surprise that she feels strongly about the value of her contributions towards the popularity of her songs, and that she should own the masters of her past albums. The other thing that stands out is the amount of risk that she is willing to take to achieve her goals. She has decided to re-record those old songs again. And for these re-recorded songs, she gets to keep the masters. Now, to start with, it is strange that an artist is legally allowed to do so. When a pharma company makes a new drug and patents it, no other company is allowed to make that drug for the duration of the patent. That is illegal. However, an artist is allowed to re-record her songs, even when the masters are owned by someone else. But that is not the risky bit. The risky part is the uncertain value of the new assets that she is creating. People wanting to listen to those songs will now have two options, the original version, or the Taylor's version, as the song's branding indicates. People may choose one over the other, or they may not care. While this feud is fresh, it may capture people's interest, and they may actively prefer one over the other. With time, however, it is likely that this interest will decay, and more may care less and less. They may end up listening to whatever the Spotify playlist throws up. If it is the Taylor's version, then Taylor Swift will receive the payment for the song being played. If it is the other version, then the fund may get paid. As masters are assets, you can see how their value is compromised if there are more than one version of the same song. Having said that, it appears that Taylor Swift is executing a very well thought out plan. And that is the way to go about taking such risks. She has partnered with Universal to produce the Taylor's versions. It helps that she is also the songwriter for those songs. To promote them, she has made appearances on talk shows like Saturday Night Live and The Jimmy Fallon Show. There are new music videos popping up on YouTube. The new songs are branded Taylor's version, so that people can distinguish the two. The fan community also seems to be supportive and appear to have bought into this project. At the end of the day, it is about people. Even though it is about money, it is about people. What their ambitions and desires are, who they like and dislike, what their talents and skills are. Of course, luck plays an important role in all this, especially how everything comes together. Maybe this story will stay in the public eye for a long time, or maybe it'll go away soon. Only time can tell. So that's it for this video. If you made it this far, consider giving a like, and I'll see you in the next one.